We are spinning a web. We are knotting a net. These are delicate threads. These are desperate times. We are throwing out lines, so subtle and slight, they are lighter than air. We are spanning the sky with wireless wires, too faint by far for the naked eye, untraceably thin, imperceptibly fine. But they carry our breath. We are making our calls. They are tightropes, strung from the end of a phone to a place called home. So our words can escape, our voices trapeze for mile after mile, or in my case, traverse the width of the sea. My beautiful wife, sit down in the chair, put the phone to your ear. Let me say, let me hear. We are spinning a web, but such delicate threads, the links so brittle, too little, too late. Not one can save us or bear our weight. Then enormity falls, then all sense fails, the strings are cut and the world goes slack. The tower to the south, holding on to the moon by its fingernails, now loses its fix and drops from view. The tower to the south now loses her heart, now sieves itself through itself, just gives up the ghost, all logic and fact on the slide. Through a crack in the sky for a second or so, a river, and land on the other side. Then the image lost, to uplift of ash and an inrush of dust. Then the overwhelming urge to run, the impulse to pump with the arms and fists, sprint hell for leather up 7th or 5th, a wish for the earth to be solid and not to give, for concrete or tarmac under the feet, to sprint for the light at the end of the street, one last race, the utmost desire to be downing litres of smokeless air, and to run and run and run and run and break the finish line, burst a lung. I watch sirens and lights, the soldier ants of vehicles wearing emergency red, all filing this way, and the people, New Yorkers, flowing away, a biblical tide of humankind, going north, going safe, the faces of women and men, looking up at the nightmare of where I am. Looking back at the monstrous form I've become, they turn and run, and through the blitz of that awful snow, the only colours, mile beyond mile, of traffic lights, changing, stop, wait, go. You have picked me out. Through a distant shot of a building burning, you have noticed now that a white cotton shirt is twirling, turning. In fact, I am waving, waving, small in the clouds, but waving, waving. Does anyone see a soul worth saving? And when will you come? Do you think you are watching a man shaking crumbs or pegging out washing? I am trying and trying. The heat behind me is searing, searing, but the white of surrender is not yet flying. I am not at the point of launching, leaving. A bird goes by. The depth is appalling. Appalling that others like me should be windmilling, wheeling, spiralling, falling. Are your eyes believing? Believing? Here in the gills, I am still breathing, but tiring, tiring. Sirens below me are wailing, firing. My arm is numb, and my nerves are sagging. Do you see me, my love? I am flagging, flagging. What reveals itself once night has cleared? What emerges by day? What fragments? What findings? What human remains? The steaming mound like a single corpse, stony tissue, skeletal steel, and not matter alone, but ideas as well. Concepts torpedoed and theories trashed, refuted schematics, a carcass of zeroed numbers and graphs. The gleaners arrive to pick and prize, to rummage by any and every means, claw and spike, hook and crane, bucket and spade, on hands and knees. Some use the phrase, a fruitless search. Some fall and weep. Some gag and retch. Some report that death has the scent of a peach. Neither here nor there, the wheel or the wisp of a welder's torch, two right-angled girders raised as a cross. The numbers came, the body count. Then part of a body is stretched out, carried by bearers, clothed in a flag. The rest is boated and trucked, strewn in a field, to be raked and forked, to be sifted and bagged, numbered and tagged. What comes to lie to the harder things, eternity rings, necklaces, bracelets, identity cards, belt buckles, cufflinks, earrings, combs, hair slides, hip flasks, running shoes, bones. Watches are found still keeping time, the escapement sound, the pulse still alive, but others have locked at 10:28, others like mine. And here is a rock from Brighton Beach, here is a beer mat, here is the leaf of an oak, pressed and dried, papery thin, here is a licorice all sorts tin, the flag of St. George, a cricket ball. Here is a calendar counting the days. Here is a photograph snug in its frame. This is my wife on our wedding day. Here is a twist of her English hair. No ashes as such, but cinders and grains are duly returned, sieved and spooned and handed back in a cherry wood urn, in a velvet bag. All lost in the dust, lost in the fall and the crush and the dark. Now all coming back, 5 years on, nothing in place, the hole in the ground still an open wound, the gaps in the sky still empty space, the scene of the crime still largely the same, but everything changed. 5 years on, what false alarm can be trusted again? What case or bag can be left unclaimed? What flight can be sure to steer its course? What building can claim to own its form? What column can vow to stand up straight? What floor can agree to bear its weight? What tower can vouch to retain its height? What peace can be said to be watertight? What truth can be said to be bulletproof? Can anything swear to be built to last? Can anything pledge to be hard and fast? What system can promise to stay in place? What structure can promise to hold its shape? What future can promise to keep the faith? Everything changed. Nothing is safe. That was Out of the Blue by Simon Armitage.